Hey everybody, Southern Sage back again, and today we're going to talk about grafting fruit trees. Like, why do we do that and what is this thing? In a different video I'll probably show you some techniques to actually do it. But for today, let's talk about why you would graft a fruit tree. So first of all, a little language. So the part of the tree that is connected to the roots is called a rootstock. The part of the tree that is above that is grafted on, is the scion, okay? So the scion tree, is chosen because it makes something tasty, usually, and disease resistance. So if you didn't already know, if you have a Granny Smith apple at the store, right? That apple is on a tree that is a genetic clone of the original tree found in Granny Smith's backyard and cloned through grafting across the entire world. If you'd have Fuji apple, that Fuji apple is a clone of every other Fuji apple. Same thing for a New Haven peach or your favorite variety of plum. Like, all of them are cloned, right? So they've taken a branch of an existing tree that was really cool and stuck it on the roots of some other tree to replicate it. So let's take a look at what this actually looks like. So if we come down here at the bottom of this seckel pear of mine, if you look here, you see where the bark changes and where this top part is kind of coming out at an angle? Well, that's where this was grafted. So this is a seckel pear, and it is a clone of the pear found somewhere in New England, I don't remember exactly where, by a dude named Seckel. And these roots are a pear rootstock that is bred to be semi-dwarfing, so this tree won't get huge. Different rootstocks can make different sizes of tree. So for instance, there's usually 3 categories. There's dwarf, semi-dwarf, and standard. So a dwarf tree usually won't get more than about 8 or 10 feet tall. A semi-dwarf tree, what this guy is, will get 15 to 20 feet tall if you don't do anything, but they're pretty easy to prune down to 12 to 15 feet, which is my plan for this guy. And then a standard tree is 30 to 40 feet tall. And the roots that go with those vary the same way. So a dwarf tree will have an itty bitty tiny root system. And, well, the benefit there is you could grow it in a large pot. You can fit it into a small space. The downside is it's very prone to getting blown over by wind. So if you are in an at-all windy area, or if you're subject to droughts and don't have an easy way to water trees, right, that smaller root system can't dig as deep to get water. The semi-dwarf tree, in my opinion, is the perfect balance. So it is big enough to be very productive. It's got enough of a root system to withstand the wind. And it's got enough roots to get down to water in my climate, my Kansas drought-prone in the summer kind of climate. So I like semi-dwarf trees. Standard trees, if you have the space, will live for flippin' ever. Like, there are apple trees that are 200 years old, you know, Johnny's Appleseed apples. Whereas these semi-dwarf trees live on average like 25 to 30 years, right? So they're just not as long-lived of a tree. So these are all considerations if you're looking at what rootstock and what scion you might want to have. Now we're going to take a quick walk over this way. You get a little bit of an update on what the garden's doing and a look at Harley, the permaculture dog. And we're going to look at some grafts that I'm doing for this year and talk about what I'm doing and why. So over here is my tree nursery. So all these little sticks. And I ordered scion wood, so this part, and rootstocks, this part, from Rain Tree Nursery in the Northwest. And I did that because I wanted several sweet cherry trees, which is this first section, and some almond trees, which are the little ones on the end. And I didn't want to have to pay full price for the trees because they're real expensive. And I could get twice as many sets of rootstock and scion wood as I could whole trees, and then I have extra trees to give my friends. So what I've done on these guys is a grafting cut. On these I used a grafting tool that makes an omega cut, and I'll show you that in a different video. And then worked on, we then wrapped it up with this plastic wrap so that the graft wouldn't die out. If I was successful, what we'll see here over the next few weeks is that these little buds that for some reason the camera does not want to focus in on, I don't know what's going on with that, but these buds will start to swell and turn into leaves, and that will tell us that this wound, this cut I made where I spliced them together, has healed over and sap is now flowing from the roots all the way up into here and into the scion wood, and it's alive. And in the meantime, we take off all of this stuff because the roots want to grow their own selves, and if they're allowed to do that, then they just won't go all the way up into this guy. So that's a little bit about grafting today. I hope you've enjoyed it. In a different video, I'll show you the actual techniques, and I'll get out the tool and show you how you do this stuff. It is a little late for it this year. I'm a little late on getting this done, but it's still good information to have. And if you're trying to have your own food forest or start your own fruit trees, it is way more economical than buying finished trees. So for some scale, these rootstocks were $3 to $4 each, and the scion wood was about that same price per foot, and each foot will make 2 to 3 trees. And so even if my success rate is abysmal, I will still have saved myself an awful lot of money over buying pre-grafted trees from a nursery. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, like, subscribe to the channel, shoot a comment, let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing you next week.